All right, let's figure out where we are going to sew our button onto our shawl. So this process works the same way whether you wear your shawl traditionally or whether you wear it more as a bandana. So I tend to wear mine more as a bandana. So I'm going to bring it around, and this is going to take a little bit of finagling as you work on it. So you might want to do this in the mirror to make sure everything's laying the way that you would like it to. And so for me, I'm looking at about the fourth stripe in of where I would like my button to land. So if your shawl doesn't have stripes like this one does, a safety pin or some sort of stitch marker is going to be your friend. So I'm going to still do it this way. I'm going to take my safety pin here, find where I want my button to be, and put my safety pin in that spot so that when I take off my shawl, my safety pin is going to show me where I need to put my button. Now let's see how to put on our button. Before you sew on your button, you need to make sure that obviously you have whatever button you want to use, a sewing needle, a length of thread or yarn that will be able to go through your buttonhole a couple of times, and some scissors to trim your ends when you are done. I am going to take my length of thread and fold it in half. If I was using a thinner thread that would go into your sewing machine, I would fold this a second time so that I had 4 strands going through my buttonhole at once. But because this is a little bit thicker, I'm just going to fold mine in half. I have a self-threading needle, so I don't need to thread it through the end. I'm going to take the center here that I found and put my needle there in the center. You are going to want to secure a knot at the end of your thread so that it doesn't go through your fabric quite as easily. It still might. You'll want to be a little bit easy on the first couple of pass-throughs. And we are going to start from the back of our fabric. Bring your needle through. I'm going to bring our button through as well. I think I really like this flatter side of this button. So I'm going to use that as the outside. You're going to go back through. And you're just going to want to loop it through your buttonholes a couple of times. As you are doing this, you will want to make sure that there is a little bit of space in between your fabric and your button so that after you've looped it a couple times, you will be wrapping your thread around that space so that you have space to use your button. If it's a little too tight, sometimes it gets hard to button that hole there. All right, now that I've gone through a couple times, I am just going to go back down through my buttonhole. I'm not going to go through the fabric. I'm just going to go through my buttonhole. We're going to wrap to make that nice and strong. We're going to bring it back down through the fabric. And then we are going to take our needle and loop it through the stitches on the underside a couple of times. I'm gonna do one more. To make sure that button is nice and secure. And there you have it. That is how you sew on a button.